back to Clarity Convos for Wedding Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Aislinn, and today we are going to be talking about another mindset reset. I got really amazing feedback from you guys that the last podcast episode that I did with a mindset reset was really valuable to you. So I'm going to be continuing this series every few weeks, every few months. You guys will get a mindset reset. And today's topic, I think, is going to really help a lot of wedding professionals who are struggling with what to do next. So today's topic for mindset reset is you're never too good for the basics. You are never too good for the basics. I know that's probably not something you want to hear, but that is the mindset reset that you need today. Because here's the thing. Most of my clients come to me with these really beautiful, wonderful, established wedding businesses. They booked some really great clients. They are doing really well, but they want more. They want more. They want to have more income. They want to have better clients. They want to have a better process. They want to have a better mindset. So what we always do is we always go back to the basics. So we're going to get into that a little bit more in depth today. But here's the thing I see so many of you doing, that if you raise your hand to this right now, you have to listen to this entire episode. Absolutely have to listen to the entire episode. So what I see happening is a lot of wedding professionals forget the basics. They complain that they don't have bookings, but their last Instagram post was 8 months ago. They say bookings are weird for next year, but they haven't reached out to any of their referral partners in months. They don't follow up with planners, and then they get upset that they get ghosted. If you would take some of the mindset resets that I do in this podcast and you applied them immediately go apply them, you would literally exponentially grow your business and exponentially grow your mindset. You would see new clients pouring in. You would see new opportunities. You'd be willing to show up bigger and get louder about what you do, how good you are at your job. You would call in new income levels. You would stop waiting for this perfect quote unquote time, and you would move 10 times faster than you're moving right now. This is the key. These mindsets are the key. You'll charge more. You're going to sit in bigger rooms where referrals are like breathing because there's so many of them. You'll attract clients who want to hire you because of your magnetic energy. This is what mindset works does for you when you pair it with strategy. So when I say you are never too good for the basics, I don't care if you are charging $5,000 for wedding photography. I don't care if you're charging $12,000 for wedding photography. I don't care if you already have a 6-figure business. You are never too good to go back to the basics and get more clear and more defined with how good you are at what you do, who you work with, what your offer is, what your process is, who your target market is. All of those things are incredibly important that we sometimes just forget. There's this weird thing where people are like, oh, I don't know what to do next. The basics. Do the basics. Oh, I don't know what to do next. The market must have changed. No, you just start skipping the basics. You haven't done them in a while and you're like, oh no, I don't need to do those. Ego is going to convince you that you're too far along for that. Ego is going to convince you that, oh, you don't need that. You're better than that. You are never too good for the basics. I even go back to the basics within my own business. So let's get into what these are so that you can have a more clear picture of where have I been skipping things. All right, so the first basic, your mindset. I don't need you to journal for an hour each day. I just don't. 10 minutes, 5 minutes. You don't even have to journal on a piece of paper. You could journal out loud if you want to, but you need to be setting intentions. You need to be clearing some of the stuff that comes out for you. You need to be working on your mindset. Even if you've hit a new income level, even if you've raised your prices, even if you've been booking really great clients, one of the biggest basics I see you guys skipping over is your mindset. So I want you to check in right now. Have I really been working on my mindset recently? And if not, why? If not, what am I going to do about it? The next basic is your marketing and your messaging. When was the last time you updated it? And I don't mean a rebrand of your website. Everywhere you go, there you are. If you rebrand your website, but you still have the same shitty patterns that you had when you were charging less or when your website was whatever it was before, by the way, that comes with you. By the way, it's still there if you haven't cleared it or if you haven't installed new patterns or installed new subconscious patterns. So you need to be looking at your marketing, and you need to be looking at your messaging, and you need to be going back to the basics with these things and asking yourself things like, if I was sitting across the room from my ideal client, what conversations would we be having? If I was to say the thing that I need to say in order for them to feel safe to buy from me, what would I need to say to them? If I got louder about how good I am at what I do, what would I say? Your marketing, your messaging is going to attract and become that magnet for your ideal client. So if you're keeping quiet about it, or you're not being loud about it, even at networking events or when you're like networking with like new people, like if you are not saying like, this is who I am and this is what I do, how are your ideal clients going to find you? Especially if you've raised your prices, or maybe you've changed markets or something like that. You have to go back to the basics on this. The next basic is your sales process. Do you even have a sales process that you're like, yeah, I definitely have a process? Or are you just kind of like, I have a thing that I kind of do, but every single wedding and every single lead is different. So it's not the same every time. So yeah, I don't think we really have a process, because if you don't, that is the basic that you need to work on immediately. You need to have a roadmap of how you lead your clients through consultation calls. You need to have a follow-up system of how you follow up with people. You need to have the basics of a sales process, and then we can refine and go from there. But always coming back to this and making sure, is it actually really easy for people to buy from me? I would ask yourself that question right now. Is it actually really easy for people to buy from me? Because if the answer is no, we've skipped a basic. Makes sense that your sales are what they are. The next basic that you need to be looking at is your client process. I see so many people who focus on their client journey, but to be honest, they're focusing on the kind of like fluffy parts of the client journey of like, if I send them this candle, like they're definitely going to be like naming their firstborn child after me. If I show up on wedding day and it's like, I have these certain things that I walk my clients through, they're definitely going to have the best experience ever, because I can definitely control that, right? I want you to think about your client process from this perspective of, from the very first time they ever hear your name to they are sitting 10 years after their wedding thinking about their wedding day and the part that you played on their wedding day. What's the process? What's the process you want to walk them through? What's the thing that you want to leave them with? And just like actually put out the touch points of what those things are. So a lot of times when I see people just kind of skipping over this, what I'm seeing is they're only focusing on, oh, I sent that person a 90-page engagement guide or a 90-page like wedding guide. That's enough, right? Oh, I sent that person a candle and a cookie. That's what is like the best part of the client process. No, the best part of the client process is how you make people feel. So if you don't intentionally have touch points with your clients that make them feel seen, heard, and taken care of, a candle is not going to do those things for you, by the way. Your energy is going to do those things. So we need to go back to the basics there. The next thing I want you to think about is your systems for getting work done. This, oh my God, this gets skipped over so often. It drives me bonkers. So your system for getting work done. If your only system is to procrastinate until a deadline, this is a shit system. I'm sorry if you guys are listening to this around like kids, like today is a cursing day. I'm sorry. It's a terrible system. It just is. It just is. If your only system is to procrastinate until a deadline, that is a pattern that you are taking with you unless you change it. This is a basic that has to have a different standard. It has to have a different programming attached to it. This is something I work on with my clients all the time. I hear all the time, oh, I have ADHD, so I don't have a good productivity system. You guys, I know millionaires who have ADHD and they have a productivity system. That excuse doesn't go very far when you're sitting at tables where people have overcome that. I understand that there are certain things that you have like patterns around. You need a better system. This is a basic of running a business, is being able to get stuff done. And if you are waiting to procrastinate until a deadline to get stuff done, that system is going to break and it's going to fail and it's going to suck when it happens. So I need you to go back to basics and get your productivity system in order. I actually have an entire program called Agile around productivity systems that helps me to be more productive. It's helped all of my clients to be more productive. And it truly is a game changer when you are able to sit down, know exactly what the highest task, like priority is, and actually get stuff done and not get sidetracked by the things that, like your inbox is on fire. That's probably not the thing that you actually need to be doing. The thing you probably actually need to be doing is deep work on things that are going to move your business forward. Because at the end of the day, to run a business, this is oversimplifying, like grossly oversimplifying. But at the end of the day, you need an offer. So your services are an offer. You need people to buy it. And you need a reason for people to buy your offer. That's what you need. That is gross oversimplification of what actually happens for a business to run, but those are the basics. So usually when I see a wedding professional who they're posting in a Facebook group or on Instagram saying like, oh, the market has changed, or, oh, I don't know what to do next, it's because they're ignoring the basics. If you don't know what to do next in your business, I want you to listen to this again, listen to the list, and I want you to ask yourself, where am I ignoring these things? These are the foundations of a scalable business. These are the foundations of taking your business to the next level. So here's the action step from this podcast episode. Where are you hiding in your business? Maybe it's networking. Maybe it's owning how good you are at what you do. Maybe it's that your client process feels clunky, but it's familiar, so you don't want to change it. Where are you hiding in your business? Go take an action step to show up in that space. Go take an action step to go back to the basics in one of these things that we talked about today. I want you to go do that today. And if you're like, Aislinn, I don't want to do this myself. Like, I really don't. I don't want to do this myself. The good news is I have spaces for you. I have multiple spaces for people who want to do the work, who want to learn, who want to implement, who want to build a solid foundation in their business so that it actually feels like it's a beautiful, wonderful place to be in. So one of those spaces is called Success Accelerator Program. This is my signature group program for wedding professionals. It is a 6-month group program that is meant to help you build a solid foundation in your wedding business. We want to have consistent income, dreamy clients, a mindset that's going to magnetize your next level. This is for the client who wants to ditch the income roller coaster. You want to ditch the shoulds of the wedding industry. You want to ditch the mind drama of the wedding industry. SAP is the space for that. We are currently enrolling. You can look at the show notes to apply to be inside of SAP, but this is a high level space where we're going to be covering things like building a mindset toolkit and unshakable confidence. We're going to be covering things like optimizing your current business for more sales and efficiency. We're going to talk about sales skills. We're going to talk about marketing. And then there's also bonuses, which include things like access to Agile, which is my CEO systems, productivity systems program that I was talking about earlier, as well as Masterclass Vault, which is all of the masterclasses that I have done that have helped my clients to scale their businesses. And it's also access to Content Mastery, which is my content program for wedding professionals. This is an incredible space. It includes not only the framework of SAP, but it also includes bi-weekly group coaching calls, hot seat coaching, where you get to come in and tell me what's going on in your business. And we get to workshop how you are going to fix that or how you're going to change that. And there's also Slack access for customized coaching inside of the SAP Slack group. It is an incredible space. I have had clients who have gone from $6,500 to $10,000 for their wedding photography prices. I've had clients who have had 20K months. I've had clients who have had 20 weeks. I have clients who have gone from a $7,300 average to a $10,000 average. I've had clients who have had their first 10K wedding, their first 6-figure year, bought their first house. There's so many things that my clients have done inside of this program. It is truly an incredible space. So you can check out the show notes and look at the sales page as well as apply inside of the show notes. That is all I have for you today for your mindset reset. If you found this helpful, please send me a DM on Instagram at Aislinn Coaching or leave me a review below. I really want to hear from you guys and hear which episodes are super helpful for you, but I will see you on the next episode.